Hello everyone, myself Asma Parveen. Today's my topic is Life and Teachings of Buddha 567 to 487 BC. Buddhism, another religious movement which rose as a protest against the unnecessary rituals of Brahmanism, was Buddhism. It was started by Gautama Buddha, a contemporary of Mahavira. Gautama Buddha was royal name was Siddhartha. He was the son of Suddhodana, the chief of Sakya clan of Kapilavastu in the Nepal Tarai area. He was born in 567 BC in the village of Lumbinivana, a few miles from Kapilavastu. Siddhartha lost his mother at the time of his birth and was brought up by the stepmother Mahaprajapati Gautami. After 7 days of his birth, his mother, his mother, after 7 days of his birth, his mother Maya Devi died. Right from his childhood, Siddhartha showed inclination towards contemplation. He loves seclusion and avoided the contemporary. He loved seclusion and avoided the company of his playmates. He spent most of his time in meditating over the various human problems. His father Suddhodana tried to attract him towards worldly objects and married princess named Yashodhara and had a son named Rahula. A boy was born to him by her at an early age of 19 years. After leaving his house, Gautama Buddha went to Vaishali. He lived with the famous philosopher Adhara Kalama but was not satisfied with his teachings. He therefore moved to Rajagriha and met Rudraka and other philosophers. But here also he did not get satisfaction. After this, Siddhartha practiced severest penances for 6 years and reduced himself to a skeleton, but he did not get any satisfaction. He gave up penance and took a bowl of milk offered to him by village girl Sujata. He then sat under a peepal tree and said, "Let my skin, my nerves, and bones waste away. Let my livelihood dry up. I will not leave this posture until I have perfect attainment." He remained in meditation for 7 days and 7 nights and was ultimately enlightened on the eighth day. On the day of enlightened, on the eighth day, one the day of enlightened, he became to be known as Buddha or Tathagat. Siddhartha discovered the law of causation, a cycle of 12 causes and effects, attainment, containing the universe. This law had not been thought of by any philosopher before him. After the Enlightenment, Gautama decided to preach the knowledge of the people from their benefit. First of all, he went to Banaras and Sarnath, which were a great center of learning in these days. First of all, at Sarnath, he preached to the five monks were greatly impressed, who had left him in despair. He taught them the middle path, and ascetic should neither addict himself to the pleasure of service nor of self mortification, And so the Gautama set in motion his teachings and became his disciples again. Thus, the foundation of the Buddha Sangha was laid then Buddha visited Rajagriha, where he was accorded a warm welcome by the king Bimbisara. From, the, from here, he moved to Saravati, the capital of Kosala. At Kosala, King Prasanajit became his disciple. Then Gautama proceeded to Kapilavastu, where a large number of people became his disciples, including his wife Yashodhara and his son Rahul. Buddha concentrated his activities in Magadha and preached his message to a large number of people. The other places where his message was received with a great admiration were Kashi, Kosala, Vijji, Avanti, etc. Buddha continued to preach his message till his death in 487 BC. His last words were, "Now, monks, I have nothing more to tell you but that all that is composed, that is liable to decay. Strive after salvation energetically." Then, teachings of Lord Buddha. Buddha laid great stress on morality. As a result, the scholars have refused to accept his teachings as a new religion. According to Dr. Radha Kumud Mukherjee, the Buddha's teachings begins and ends with an enlightened. On the whole, he concentrated on moral aim and purpose. His religious was very simply and practical. It aimed at the moral uplift of the people and encouraged the people to attain nirvana. Because, according to him, dharma is supreme in his life as nirvana. Nirvana can be achieved only in this life. The basic teachings of Buddha can be summed up in four noble truths and the middle path or eightfold path. The Four Noble Truth comprises by Buddha were: the world is full of sorrows and miseries. Birth, old age, death, separation with beloved, and contact with unpleasant is the case of all sorrows and miseries. Second one is the chief cause of these sufferings is desire, Krishna, or craving for existence, pleasure, and passion. Third one is person can free himself from suffering by getting rid to the desire, means that means nirvana. Fourth one is the remedy for ending the sufferings was the eightfold path. This path is also known as middle path and insisted on avoidance of extremis extremes of excessive attachment and excessive self mortification. The eight principles advocated by Buddha were as follows. First one is right views. Second one is right aspirations. Third is right speech. Fourth is right action. Fifth is right living. Sixth is right efforts. Seventh, right mindfulness. Eighth is right contemplation. Speaking of the Eightfold Path, Dr. Riaz Davis says, if this Buddhist ideal of perfect life is remarkable when compared with the thought of India at that time, it is equally instructive when looked from the comparative point of view. It may be noted that in this middle path, Buddha tried to avoid the extreme nature of Brahmanism based on the pleasure loving, and that of Jainism based on the self mortifications. Prominence of the character. Buddha laid great emphasis on moral life rather than worship life. He attached too much importance to the building of the moral character and laid down various principles for the purpose. These rules of morality to parents and respect to elders, living life of chastity, abstaining from intoxicating drinks, charity, kindness, and mercy to the sick and to all living beings. Believe in karma and rebirth. Gautama Buddha believed in the theory of karma and held that the condition of people in this life and the next rest on his karma. A man reaps what he sows, and no god or goddesses can change it. No person can escape the consequences of his deeds. A person is born again and again to reap the fruit of his karma. Buddha held that if an individual sins no more, he died no more, and when he dies no more, he is born no more, and thus he came to live the life of final bliss. Though the doctrine of karma was not a new contribution of Buddha because it was already known, but credit goes to Buddha for popularizing the doctrine. Disbelief of existence of God. Because of his firm belief in the theory of karma, Buddha did not pay any attention to the issue regarding God. This silence has been interpreted by the scholar as disbelief in the existence of God. In fact, Buddha neither accepted nor rejected the existence of God and goddesses. The next one is ahimsa. Ahimsa was another prominent feature of the teachings of Lord Buddha. According to him, spirit of love is more important than good deeds of consideration. Considered non-violence as an integral part of practical morality. However, Buddha did not attach as much importance to ahimsa as was attached by Jainism. Further, although he insisted on love and non violence for the living beings, he permitted his followers to take meat under certain circumstances. Then, next one is caste system. Gautama Buddha vehemently criticized caste system and did not believe in caste distinctions. According to him, all men are equal, and the status of a person is determined by the karmas. He believed that the caste of a person does not depend on his birth, but on his deeds. Thus, we find that the principles and teachings of Buddha were very simple and insisted on purity of thought, speech, and action. He was the first rationalist of the world who arrested that one's own savior and master without references to any outside power. Thank you for watching.